Oh, is it my turn?
Yeah, your turn,
Oh,
man.
good, my turn. Welcome everybody to everybody's favorite racing show on a
Sorry,
Tuesday
forgot
night
to
from
tell you that.
Texas. Yeah, I know. Well, you forgot the other video too. So, uh,
Yeah, well, I deleted them apparently, or
oh,
or something. I don't know. They're not there. We haven't
oh,
done this for a week, so I don't know.
oops.
Yeah. Oh well.
Well, welcome to the show, everybody. Showtime, Bobby Chaff right here. The Iceman, Rodney Rodriguez, that man over there. You're right. I am gonna have to change the view of that camera.
Oh
But
well. You know,
yeah,
that's
week
what
off
happens
trying
when
to
you.
change some things up and making it worse, but instead of making it better. But hey, you get a good shot of the dog today.
That's what happens when you take a week off. It's like I got back home. I think it was yesterday afternoon, and I was opening up, the broadcast computer and doing all these different things. There were all these updates and all these different things, and apparently it has consumed our Jeff Gordon video and Marty Smith. So we'll have to we'll get those fill back in. We'll get those fill back in here at some point. But that, yeah, just for shits and grins, let's do this.
I'm Jeff Gordon, and you're watching Racing America.
It's in a different spot. Oh, God, I can't keep up with this stuff, man. Absolutely cannot keep up with this stuff.
Yeah,
How
I
you
might have
been,
to
dude?
definitely move that camera angle. It's killing me.
Oh man, well, it's all right. I mean, you look gorgeous as always, my man. That's
It's a little
that's
weird.
the main thing. That's the main thing. How you been, dude? A week off. I mean, we had planned to do a show, and then stuff kind of went awry a little bit, and it. So then we came to this week. We got a big race tomorrow, so it's like we got to get a show in on Tuesday because you got the ASA Stars tomorrow. So hell, can't be doing a show that day. But here we are. Here we are.
Yeah, I mean, lots of big news today, or well, I guess I wouldn't say breaking news. Lots of potential news today
Yeah.
coming in from the world of NASCAR. Got some local stuff. Got some local drama, as always, and Days of Our Lives drama at a local racetrack near you. So it's been an interesting day, national wise. Same thing, got the whole Cade Dillard versus Garrett Alberson thing, friend of the show. With that going on, that was an interesting take this morning. So
That's probably a good place to start, to be honest with you. And I, we talk, and of course, the show is based here in Texas. Tonight, we're going to talk to Mason Johnston a little bit later on. We were going to talk to Austin Hull, but he messaged me, and he's dealing. That has happened to me before, to where you get a bee infestation. And then Bobby, he messaged me later, and he's like, "Man, they got a hold of my dog," and I'm like, "Oh man, that sucks." So
that's
he's
not good.
dealing with a lot right there. It's like, Austin Hull's our buddy and everything, but I'd kind of rather wish they'd have gotten a hold of him. leave the pet alone. The pet can't fight him off or attempt to fight him off. So we'll get him rescheduled, as he was the winner there at the Tecton 250. That was a hell of a race.
That's a fun race. It took a little bit. It took a little bit to
Yeah,
get there, but
it did.
that was
Quite a
it's
while.
good to see one of the local guys take it to all the out of towners and the pros coming in there.
Yeah, I mean that's the point leader there at Berlin, and for him to do that, and the way that all shook out towards the end. I mean, you didn't have those big guys, you didn't have the big dogs, and it was very much a back and forth thing there, where you had comers and goers, as we like to talk about. But it definitely was right there at the end, when it all shook itself out. I guess that's the right way to say that. Shook itself out, that you did have more of kind of a local flair, and that's kind of the way it should be. Like back in the old days, like when the big series came to town, you had the track hot shoes and all those guys, where it was like, okay, can they do anything with the more regional national guys? And I love it when that happens, when you have an event like that, and when it's all said and done, it's the dudes that grind their teeth and race at that track that go in there and win those races.
It's really fun to see it. I mean, it was fun. A couple of good video highlights from that race. That was one hell of a save when old Bubba got
Oh,
into Carson Hocevar there. That was a hell of a save. That was all over. That was all over the internet the next day and social media with that. So hell, that night, like right after it happened, that video was posted. It was just like, damn. We saw everybody's reaction to that, from our friends in Maine all the way down to Florida on that deal. So
yeah, for all the folks that want to get pissed off at Carson Hocevar, and say what you want to say about Carson Hocevar, I think that if you've covered and watched this guy as long as we have, I mean, this isn't some dude that's coming in and doing this. Hocevar's always been aggressive. This is just the way that he has learned how to race. Say what you want to say about it, and he's always done it. I mean, every level he just goes to win. And right there, I mean, that wasn't anything where Pollard. I mean, Bubba just dove in there and got into him. And the other thing about it is that's where it's so different with some of the drivers now, because Bubba, it would have been real easy. Bubba didn't really try to make the pass when that happened. He's like, I'm gonna let this dude square this car up, and I'm gonna he's either gonna hit the fence and be out, or he's going to save it. So that was just two really classy moves in that whole little incident right there.
Yeah, no, it was. I mean, it was good. I mean, it was good to see, and good racing. That's the one thing that you definitely That's the one thing you definitely want to see is competitive action throughout the field. So there for a while, I thought Bubba was coming. I thought it was Ty's race to lose, and it ended up being his race to lose. He lost it. Speaking of Ty, how about that Matt Crafton news yesterday?
Got some news there
Or was
too.
that today? Was that yesterday or today?
Yeah, it was yesterday.
Yesterday.
So Crafton stepping away from the full-time ride right there, and that team has struggled. I mean, that team has some work to do. Dare I say Ram? I don't know, but yeah, that's
factory team. I doubt they're going to go to Ram.
Yeah. That's going to be really weird with the 88 truck. I'm assuming so. Menards is staying aboard, right? So it'll still be
well, that's what they claimed. Anyways, they didn't say it was leaving, but they didn't say it was staying. So it's kind of a little bit of both.
And I think I heard that. So Crafton and Menards have been together like 20 years or something.
22.
Like holy shit. I mean, that's unheard of right there. And the thing about it is with Crafton, I mean, like you and I were texting yesterday, and I think that Crafton has kind of really embraced, the dirt stuff, just kind of doing different things, and it's not surprising. And I think probably a lot of this too is that Matt Crafton is like, okay, it's time for me to do something else. It's I heard that thing on the Harvick podcast where Jamie McMurray was talking about, I wish that I'd have really enjoyed my time a little more. I think Matt Crafton's at that point. He's won 3 titles. He's won 15, 14 races, whatever it is. It's his time to just soak this thing up and enjoy what he's done. Dude's going to be in the Hall of Fame. Dude's going to be in the NASCAR Hall of Fame. I mean, I would assume, right?
No, because he's not a cup driver. All they do is put cup people in the Hall of Fame. We had that discussion a couple of months ago.
That's a load of horse shit right there. If they're not going to put that dude in, I mean, because I heard somebody yesterday when I was driving back, and if you think about this, because I don't tune into XM a lot, but yesterday for some reason, perfect timing. Well, there was a reason that I was tuned in because of the Xfinity thing. I wanted to hear all about that, but when they made the comparison, because when you think of the Truck Series, if you've followed the Truck Series, as long as a lot of people have, you think of Sprague, you think of Skinner, Hornaday. I mean, those are the guys. It really was Matt Crafton that kind of slipped in there when those guys were gone, and he wasn't polarizing. He wasn't anything like that.
He's not flashy, none of that.
Dude's always in the top 5. Every time he turned around, there's that freaking yellow truck right there in the middle of the mess, and man, I put him right there. I mean, you got the 3 guys that we're talking about in the Truck Series that are kind of the pillars, kind of the Mount Rushmore of that. But if you could have the Mount Rushmore and maybe a honorable mention, I really think you put that dude right underneath those guys for everything that he's accomplished.
Let's see. You'd have Hornaday, Skinner, Sprague, and then you have the 4th one. Could be
Kyle Busch.
Well, he don't count. He don't count.
I know. I mean, he doesn't count, but yeah,
he has all the records, but he don't count.
Yeah, he doesn't count. I mean, I think you would put. I mean, I think it would be Crafton. I mean, other than that, I'm trying to think back. I mean, because you have. I mean, the folks that have
Butch
come in
Miller, maybe, but
yeah. But Crafton has just been so. Crafton to me has been the guy that is just so. When you want to talk about what racing is, he's just so consistent. I mean, he had a good way of taking care of the equipment, and I think it really has. I heard again listening to the radio show yesterday as I was driving back, to where they were talking about to where it was all about racing the racetrack. I think Larry Mack was talking about DW, where he liked to race the racetrack, and I think that's what Crafton did a lot. But like we talk about Carson Hocevar and some of these young guys that are now in the Truck Series and the Xfinity Series, they don't race a racetrack. They're balls to the wall when they drop the green flag and they're off and going. So I think Crafton's going to go off, do some dirt stuff, and just enjoy some time at home.
That's a good thing. I mean, he may go back to California, but he does. I mean, he runs a a good bit of dirt racing during there or at the what's the joint Bubba Raceway Park or whatever or no, it was the other one that shut down in Tampa Bay, East Bay.
Yeah.
Won a race, I think. Won a modified race there at East Bay too.
Yeah,
he's
gotten a lot better. He's gotten a lot better. Friends, you can join the show because we are live. So depending where you are, depending which platform that you're on, feel free to drop your live comments right there. Is there somebody else that should be on that Truck Series pylon that we're talking about with the big three right there with Skinner and Hornaday and Jack Sprague? I mean, drop that. I mean, there's been a lot of good ones. Anything that you want to talk about, we'll definitely discuss that tonight as we dive through the racing program. As I was talking about earlier, kind of threw you off right there. But here in Texas, we talk about the Texas stop sign. I found something today that really has kind of in the short track racing world more on dirt than anything else. Found this today, Bobby, right there, the Texas stop sign. Drama queen, my God, out of control. Let's go where you were talking about. If you haven't seen the video, I don't know where you've been, but what a mess that was with the Garrett Albertson, Kate Dillard situation, man, just out of control. And there's kind of the still shot that we saw, and Kate Dillard's going to have some time off that 6 months, not in the Lucas Oil Dirt Series. Just a fiasco with all of that, man.
Yeah, that series is having a rough time dealing with. A lot of people split 50-50 on it. Some people said they only suspended him because he's not a series regular, so it's really not that big of a deal because he's not a full-time competitor in that series. He kind of cherry picks where he goes all over the country, which is fine. That's why the rules are the same, all over the place. So that I don't think is going to be as critical as it would be. But yeah, definitely it's an interesting deal. I mean, I'm glad I didn't have to make that call. I mean, the worst part about it that we talk about all the time, if you're going to wreck somebody, don't get out of the car and say, I did it and I'm going to do it again. That'll get you pinned every time.
Well, so before we even get to dig in deeper to that, let's hear from both of the guys. Let's hear from first from Kate Dillard and then from Garrett Albertson after the incident this past weekend.
That Garrett just once again proves how big of an idiot he is. Every time he buckles his helmet on, he tears somebody's stuff up. He got me at Cedar Lake last week, tore up Jake Tim. Every time you see him on the track, he's tearing somebody's stuff up. I'm not going to sit on here and go on a rampage and cuss, nothing like that, but you're tired of racing with idiots like that. Like, you work way too hard to get out here and put yourself in a position to be up front like this. And every time I'm around him, he hits my race car, so I hope they have to send his back to the jig. If he touches me again, I'll total him out again.
Yeah, I'm not really sure there. I know Cade's mad. We've had our run-ins. I got a hell of a run down that front straightaway. I got an excellent start, and I didn't even see him. Like, by the time we got to turn one, I didn't even see him no more. So I just eased my way out there, and I mean, heck, he hit me in the left here, so I must have gone by him. I'm just trying to use the speed that we got to get the lead. The clean air is important here, and I felt really, really good. I was just trying to bide my time and take care of my tire there, and yeah, I don't know. I'll have to see the replay there. Maybe I screwed it up. I don't know, but I just have to see the replay. Just hate it for my guys. I think that thing's probably junk. So yeah, it is what it is. Just thanks to our sponsors and stuff for staying with us. I guess I just got to do a better job here.
Well, and that's where, I mean, you can go to that. And again, I do not sit here. I love the late models. I love dirt late models, and I watch them anytime that I possibly can. I'm not one of those dudes that anytime they're on that I'm going to watch them, but it is a lot of times I will hone in to watch those cars because that happens to be one of my favorite dirt classes. But near as I can tell, and again, I haven't been on the track, but is Garrett Albertson a dirty driver? I mean,
I don't usually see it. Normally he's the one getting run over by other people.
That's kind of what I've always thought. I mean, it's like anytime that I tune in, I mean, that's the guy that's in the bad spot and is always kind of the victim of circumstances. So obviously there's more to this than we know, but man, that is pretty rough right there, what we saw.
Yeah, no, I mean, it was just, I mean, and the series deemed it a clean pass. I mean, yeah, it was a slide job, but I mean, I think that I think he cleared him for sure. I mean, if you do the slide job and get popped in the left rear, you cleared somebody. If you do a slide job and you get popped in the right rear, you didn't clear him. So if they're able to come back and try to cross over underneath you and get to your left rear and just turn you, annihilate you that way, then yeah, I mean, I think that you got the clean pass out of it.
And here's the other part, the part of this where I've kind of always thought this. I mean, when it comes to, I mean, the slide job is I mean, to execute it, to do it right. I mean, I think it's one of those things. It's a very glorified move, but I'm really surprised that this doesn't happen very often. And I know that I think a lot of the folks that get excited about dirt track racing, it is the slide jobs and so forth that make it happen. But you have to think about this, because what you're doing is you're going to try to take that advantage and get up in front of somebody. But the whole thing is, when you really go back and watch what happened in this incident, it's one thing when the slide job happens, but I guess maybe it's kind of dirt track etiquette, where if the slide job happens, you try to get down to the bottom and you try to make a pass. Cade Dillard absolutely did not do that and just drove through the 58 car. That's the only way to say it from what I saw, and all that I saw was video.
Yeah, it'd been interesting to be there, to see the crowd reaction to that. That'd have been fun to see the initial reaction from the crowd. And see, I imagine they were probably split 50-50, like most of social media has been on this deal. Maybe not 50-50. It's probably been, what, 60-40 in favor of the 58, in favor of Garrett there on this deal? Maybe 65-35 kind of deal?
I think so. I think so. But where it goes down to it, this is like we talk about all the time with the when you hook somebody and with intent and all the different stuff. That's where, I mean, this one was pretty clear what the intent was. And I mean, we can play all that sound again, but when you go in there, like you were talking about, when you go in there and you say that you did it, but again, to Cade Dillard, and we're going to talk about another, I guess, feud or some other pissed off late model drivers here in just a couple minutes. But it's like when you're not intent on racing a series and you come in and you just want to win, I think that you have a very good point right there, Bobby, to where it's like they dropped the hammer on Cade Dillard, but he's not one of their franchise guys. I mean, it's a invader, like we talk about. It's a dude that just comes in and so they're going to tell him don't come around for a little bit, but he's just going to go find somewhere else to go. I mean,
yeah,
he'll just
end up running comp cams and just kind of cherry pick where the rest he wants to go.
And that's
the
what
big money,
anyway,
big
right?
money shows. He'll be there as long as it's not Lucas Oil sanctioned. He'll be there.
Yeah. But I mean, you can't just really jump on there and say that. I mean, kind of play it off a little bit. I mean, you know what that's going to do to you, and that end result, 6 months there. But I mean, what does that do to Cade Dillard? I mean, that takes away, takes away a couple paydays. It takes away a couple of paydays for him if he was able to get in there and win. But I will say the other thing about it, and like we were talking about the days of our short track lives, boom, there it is right there up on top. Look in the corner, days of our lives. Just need to get short track in there. A lot of people have turned on Cade Dillard. It's one of those things to where, and again, there is plenty of reason to do that. But I will say that I've heard good things about Cade Dillard. He was on here with us, wasn't he, in Corpus that one time? Didn't he pop on this show? Was that Cade Dillard or who was that? Short. It was like 10 minutes. He came on and was talking about, maybe I'm thinking about somebody else. It wasn't Bobby Pierce.
But it was Bobby Pierce.
Maybe it was. Okay, it was Bobby.
Was Bobby Pierce.
Well,
he was down there with Jeff Allgaier.
Okay, we'll get to him in a minute. But the whole thing with Cade Dillard, the thriller, whatever. It's like I know there were a lot of fans that liked him, but boom, not anymore. He's like number one bad guy. But when you do that kind of shit, I guess that's what tends to happen.
I mean, it's just like professional wrestling. You don't change the way that you race, you change who you race. So if you race somebody, the fan favorite, the wrong way, and you've been doing it the whole time, then you become the enemy. Guys, if Carson Hocefar's not real popular right now, But if he takes out Chase Elliott, boom, that's going to be a whole new. Of course, they have Mr. H coming down on him on that at that point, but it's just he Host Farzad, and each week adds to that list. The list is getting a little longer, but I just think that it's a bad look. It's a bad look for late models.
I know,
but it's just not good optics for Cade Dillard either, because just the way that picture that we have, with Garrett's car up in the air, spinning around backwards in front of the field, in a battle for a B main, right? Like it's just not a good look.
Yeah, and I think it's I just think honestly it's a bad look just for the sport in general. I mean, I know that the common person sees this, maybe somebody that's not invested, and maybe somebody that's not a race fan, whatever, surface that you like. I mean, you see that wreck and it's like, wow, that's pretty cool. It is that wrestling effect right there when you see that. But that right there, when you talk about that could have been really bad. I mean, imagine if that 58 car goes over. Look at that catch fence. That thing goes over into the crowd. I mean, I don't know how many people are sitting there out of turn 2 or wherever that was, but that could have been a lot worse. And that's where you start getting into the malicious intent and so forth and so on. And still with Dillard, he doesn't deny it. So you give the guy the benefit of the doubt, because we talk a lot about coach speak and, walking the company line and all the different things. Well, Cade Dillard didn't do that. He told you exactly what he was trying to do right there. I just don't go back to what I've missed, and somebody will have to tell me what Garrett Alberson has done to be deemed a guy that, when you're doing sliders and you're going sideways and you're hauling ass, you're going to run into each other. You're going to cut each other off. It seems like a byproduct of what you're doing, in my opinion.
Well, I think it is. I mean, you have the slide jobs and the sliders and stuff like that. I mean, it wasn't even an attempt at a crossover.
Yeah.
I mean, Garrett was clear. Like, he cleared himself by a good half a car to almost a full car length, and then just down the back straightaway. That outside lane had a hell of a run, just like the inside lane did off the corner, and halfway down the backstretch, boom. It was rough.
Yeah, and that's where you can see. But again, he didn't deny it. So I'm kind of sitting here trying to indict the guy for something that he totally owned up to. I mean, you can watch on that, and we're not going to pull it up and watch it. I mean, everybody has seen this. He obviously stands on the gas, gets on the throttle, and just plows right through him. I mean, there's no other way to say it, but it could have ended a lot worse. Just glad that nobody was injured. I think that Garrett Alberson is going to elevate himself to a different level. I think after this happening, I mean, this was already. I mean, we've talked to him on this program. In full disclosure, we are friends with a lot of his family, but. I mean, we're going to call stuff right down the middle. I mean, if I truly thought that Cade Dillard hadn't done anything wrong, I would tell you that. But I think this is where Garrett Alberson, and I love what they did on social media, where they're like, the next day, they're like, oh, probably a great time to post that our merch trailer will be ready soon. They're going to sell a lot of shit.
Yeah. They'll definitely get they're getting pub out of it, just probably not the best way.
Yeah, absolutely. So along those lines, in the days of our short track lives and drama queens and all this, talking about a couple of other dudes, you had and this was actually last week while we were off, you had the Bobby Pierce thing along with Jonathan Davenport. You had all of that going on. Let's refresh your memory and let you hear what Jonathan Davenport had to say, because that was really the sound that kind of rocked the internet.
Third on the Big River Steel podium. I'm just going to ask you, Jonathan. I asked Bobby Pierce about the contact. He said the line you were running, that it kind of forces you to race that way. What was your perspective of that mid-race battle for the lead?
Obviously, he's always right. So I don't know how to throw sliders, and he does. I don't know. Just I could sit here and talk shit or whatever, but. Yeah, he probably needs it, but no, he's really good. He's really good. We all know the top's going to be.
I could sit here and talk shit. Yeah,
he could have. He should have. I mean,
yeah. I mean, I watched it. it looked like to me that Davenport was, and I've seen him do this a lot. I mean, this dude was in the bottom of the racetrack. I mean, this guy's riding around the bottom, catfishing, like they say. And I mean, Bobby Pierce, I mean, smooth operator. I mean, they call him that for a reason. Again, this is just a lot of drama right here with this.
Well, it's late in the season.
Yeah,
we're getting there. You see a lot more drama right at the late of the season. Everybody's cashing checks. They've been writing checks all year, putting the tallies in. Now they're starting to cash those checks. So, what's that old saying? Don't write a check that your ass can't cash. So,
yeah,
that's what it is.
And I think that's what makes, like with the dirt late models, you see it in sprint cars too, but more with the dirt late models where you have these guys like Pierce and where they're not dedicated to one series. I mean, with the sprint cars, you have the guys that are World of Outlaws or High Limit or whatever. We see it in pavement asphalt racing where the guys will float around. Of course, we don't quite have all of this that you have with dirt late models, but that's where I like that these guys are not solely dedicated into one series, because they'll make the move over and kind of stir some stuff up a little bit. But these kind of, for dirt late models, I mean, these are badass cars. And the fact that you have all these people that are, like Chocolate says, twisted up, I think is really good for business, but at the same time bad for business when you have a bad look like you have with Kate Dillard there with Garrett.
Yeah, no, it's not a good look for sure. It's not as bad of a look as sometimes what you get at Bowman Gray with the highlights from Bowman Gray. What most people consider, not a good look, but yeah, definitely controversy creates cash. But in this case, controversy on a racetrack costs you lots of cash.
Yeah, no doubt. And I mean, you mentioned Bowman Gray. I mean, that's a whole different one that we can scoop into here. Not just to pick on the dirt people, but I mean that's a whole shit show that's going on over there with, what is it, the pure? I don't know if it's a pure stock, a street stock, whatever it is. Every week they're throwing people out, which that's part of the deal. But I mean, now, I mean, and this is one of the old rules that I saw this past weekend, where they want them to drop the oil pan. And I mean, if they're wanting you to drop the oil pan on a stock car class, that means that obviously there's a question about rods or something, length of the rods. I mean, something is you're going out there and you're whipping ass, because that's like in the old days. He used to tell us that you had to put the little peephole there on the oil pans on the street stock, so you could kind of look in there. I never really understood how that worked. Nobody ever really did that or used it for any reason. But drop the oil pan so we can look in there, and of course nobody wants to do that. That's too much work. It's not worth our time. Come to the shop the next day and we'll drop the pan. Well, yeah, no shit. That gives you time to get in there and do whatever. But that's the thing, what we're seeing at Bowman Gray, to where now it really is just, again, a lot of drama for what? For nothing.
I mean, it's just, I think the top two didn't want to pull, or the second place dropped the pan, third place didn't want to. They loaded up. It's just a cluster over there in that one class.
And the thing about it is, and again, because we haven't been on the air since Robbie Brewer. I mean, we do want to pass on our thoughts right there. That was, I tell you, Bobby, when I saw that, I really went to, as I think most people probably would have. When I saw that, I'm thinking, my God, if somebody did something malicious, there's that word again, and like, this guy is jacked up and no longer with us, that's horrible. But this wasn't an on-track incident. This was a natural causes thing. But man, gotta be rough to get back to business. But they're not easing back in over there. They're back to their shenanigans, I guess, if you want to call it that.
Yeah, I mean, it's a good news, bad news. It's kind of like us as announcers, right? Everybody has their own particular way of doing it. And it's like most every track enjoys their announcer, but yet sometimes the announcers go to a completely different place and they're unlike because they don't like the style. That's the same thing with Bowman Gray. Locals love it, and there's lots of people that love it, but there's also a lot of people that dislike the shenanigans, as you like to put it.
Yeah. Great check-in right here. Our man Stormin' Steve Sims. And I'm not surprised. Garrett's fine. I mean, that's the whole thing. These cars are so safe and everything, we're lucky with that. mean, the car's ready to go. And I think this is something where this dude is going to be marching himself ready to go out there. And I don't think he has anything to prove. But if you want to talk about a fan favorite and just taking care of business, that's what that 58 is about to do.
I think so. I think he'll gain a few new fans out of this, more so than he had before, and he's got a pretty good following as it is now. Kind of being the, punching above his weight, being kind of what most people consider the underdog.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Our man Tim Sewell checking in there, Longhorn, and that's exactly what I was talking about. To where it was like you had to have that inspection plug on the oil pan, to where I guess they were supposed to put a flashlight up in there and be able to do whatever. I never really understood what that was. I mean, so much so that we never put the inspection plug or hole or a little glass eye, whatever. We never put one on ours because it's like, if you're going to check rods, if you're going to check the bottom end of the engine that deep, I mean, if you're going to do it, you got to do it thoroughly. You got to drop the pan. I mean, that's really the only way to do it. But it really is the thing there at Bowman Gray that, and I really thought when I saw that, it's like, man, this is something that could be catastrophic for that place, because they thrive. They have put themselves on the map by doing all that zany, crazy shit. If somebody would have lost their life that way, that would have been really bad.
That'd been rough. That'd have been rough to handle.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So there's one more. And I don't know the ins and outs of this one. You may know because you were like at the tracks this weekend. So I saw something. They had the factory stock frenzy, I think, that was going on this past week at I don't know where was that at 67 Texarkana.
Texarkana, I think. Yeah.
Something about fuel. I think there may have been a fuel thing that now has folks up in arms about fuel mixtures on the factory stocks and so forth. You have any intel on that?
I hadn't heard much about the fuel. I mean, I know there was some accusation of some rule break-in in different areas that they don't normally tech. So I think that could fall under the fuel range type of deals. So yeah, it's it's always something, isn't it? It just blows my mind.
I tell you, man, it's like that's what was. When I was kind of thinking about what we talk about tonight, and then when we couldn't talk to Austin, I'm like, well, that gives us 35 minutes or so to just kind of recap everything that we've missed. I mean, we've gone 35 minutes right now, and we're still talking about shit that usually at the end, that's what we're trying to catch up on. But it is, man. There's always something, because you know what? Racers are crafty. Racers are very crafty.
They're their own worst enemy.
Yeah. Absolutely.
In all sense of it, racers are their own worst enemies, and it's usually former racers that are the worst ones, because then they'll get on. It's always somebody that doesn't have a dog in the fight that has the biggest opinion about something.
Yeah. All right, here we go. Oxygen-generated fuel. I don't know exactly what. So here's the thing. So I was confused when I went in, because I wanted to check the results and see what I may have missed that happened here with this. So it was Jeffrey Abbey over Mason Martin and Marcus Cottle in what I'm assuming is the race in question. But then you had it said factory stocks and it said Arkansas factory stocks. I don't know what the difference is. I'm assuming the Arkansas factory stocks are the track factory stocks. I'm assuming, but. So you had all of that, but is that like a pump gas class, or can they run race fuel now? I don't know.
I have no idea. I've never really thought about it. Never really cared to know.
I know that's kind of my whole thing, to where it's like the whole stock thing. It's like, all right, whatever. Yeah, it is what it is.
Does that fancy fuel mess with the stock fuel pump? I don't know.
Yeah, well, I don't know. It's like the old carburetor rule. You got the carburetor rule, but you get in there and you do different things to it, and there it is. That's days of our short track lives right there, and I'm sure that there will be more to unpack as we do that a little bit later on. Let's go to the hotline and let's talk a little bit about speaking of stock cars. Let's go over to the pavement side. And when you talk about pure stocks, when you're talking about Mobile International Speedway, Five Flags Speedway, everything along the lines right there, this is the dude they have all been chasing. I'm glad to say this is a guy that I saw when he first was getting his feet wet, begin to dominate out there along the Gulf Coast. It is our man, the champion, Mason Johnston. Mr. Mason, how we doing, buddy?
I'm good. How are you?
Doing well, man. What's going on out your way, man? You're just kind of kicking ass and taking names out there. It looks like.
It's been a long 4 years to get to this point. Yes, sir.
Absolutely.
That's what I was going to say. What's the hardest part, getting there or staying there, right? We always ask racers that all the time. You know, you got the blood, sweat, and the tears coming up the ranks and coming up and putting in your time and your effort, your hell of a lot of money, and then you finally get on top, and it's like when you get the bullseye, what's better, being the rabbit or being the fox?
I'd definitely rather chase. That's for sure. It was a lot funner doing that. Now that you're on top, it's a lot of pressure to stay there. So
Absolutely. So let's kind of talk about this for you. I mean, I know that you have like dominated at both tracks. I mean, but for you to be the champion there at Mobile, and to win the Lee Fields and so forth, just kind of break that down, man, because I know that track is so special to you and your family. And now we've got the picture pulled up, man. You are the king of the place, my brother.
yeah, I won the Derby last year, and
Yep.
honestly, winning the Lee Fields last weekend was more important to me than winning the Snowball. My grandpa won his belt 2013, 2014, something like that. And I've always wanted one to put next to his in the trophy case.
It's awesome.
Well, for those that don't know, talk about your racing roots, man. Tell us the family tree for those that are a lot of people listening west of the Mississippi.
Oh, I don't know much about it. I know my great grandpa started racing, and he had the number 06 and Big Six. Well, then my grandpa and his brother, J.C. Mason, they drove, and then of course Mr. Gene Tappy and them drove for him. But really, most of it I remember is Paw Okie. He started when he was like 15, and ever since I was a little kid, I've always just wanted to be just like him. So,
man, that so let's talk about Okie, because that's one of the guys when I got to go down there, Mason, and work there at Mobile. It's like people kept telling me one of the first people you need to meet is Okie Mason. Just talk about him, man. That is a character, a badass race car driver, and man, and I know that he's such a huge influence on what you have done and what you continue to do right now.
oh man, I mean, not only on the racetrack but off the racetrack, he's been my role model. Ever since I was a little kid growing up, I've always wanted to be just like him, and getting to race is just getting to be part of just like him. I set my goals the same way he does, but he's a great man. He'd do anything for anybody. God bless me whenever he made him my grandpa.
Love it.
So let's talk about Mobile, man. Over the, you've seen the resurrection and been part of it the last couple of years, from when Gina took it over, and then Eddie's taking it over, and taking it to new heights. I mean, what's that been like for you as a local racer from a local racing family there, to see that place blossom back up the way that it's starting to be, over the course of the last couple of seasons?
Man, I'm truly happy. I first started racing right when Miss Gina got the racetrack, and there was talks of the racetrack going away before she got it. And I feel like she kind of started something there. And look, I love Miss Gina. Every time she sees me now, she speaks. But her and even Mr. Eddie, they both done a great job bringing that racetrack back. It's one of the places I grew up watching racing at. The only other one I wish they'd bring back was Birmingham.
Oh man, it'd be awesome. That would be awesome. So let's kind of switch over to Five Flags, over to Pensacola, and I think it's just so great that you guys have those tracks right there, so damn close to each other. Let's talk about the season over there, man. You go and you run the Friday nights, and hell, they can't catch you there either, man. The season at Five Flags so far.
It's been good to me. Last year and this year we've had a really fast race car. Last year we got dealt a lot of bad luck, and just parts failures and mechanical problems cost us races. But this year we've been able to put it all together, stay on top of everything, and I've had a really great year this year. Uh, but it's not all because of me, you know. Like I said, my pawpaw does most of the work to the car in the shop. Uh, the McDonald's, you know, Parker, Mr. Darrell, all them guys helped me. Dylan, Courtney. Without none of them, we wouldn't be where we were. So it's not all me. It's mostly them. I'm just the one that lucky enough to get to drive the race car.
Mhm.
But doesn't that make it more special though? When you've got all those people around you and you're winning and everybody's happy and the beer's colder and the trophies are bigger and all that, right? Doesn't it make that much more special?
Yeah, it definitely makes it more special. It makes you feel down a little bit more when you got all those people behind you and you don't do good, you
Yeah.
know. Uh, which thankfully we haven't had that this year. Like I said, I've got a lot of people that support me behind the scenes. Those are just the guys that work on the car. Like Mr. Mitch, he helps me out. Mr. Chopper, Miss Casey, um, Mr. Darrell helps me sponsoring me with McDonald Muffler. Not only do they help me work on it, but they do help money wise too. You know, I've got a lot of people in my corner that help me out, and like I said, I couldn't do it without any
So
of them.
Mason, talk about that part, because that's one thing that I think is so badass about what you guys do over there is, like you mentioned the McDonald's and so forth. If you guys are on the track, you're going to sit out there and you're going to race your guts out. I mean, you guys are going to rub fenders and give each other the hardest race that you can have. But when it's all said, you may be pissed off at each other when it's all said and done after the race. But when the smoke clears, I mean, you guys are all family down there, man. Talk about that part. It's so cool to see that tight knit. I call it an organization, what you guys have, because it's you guys take each other's back and take care of it. Kind of talk about that part.
Yes, sir. Actually, me, Dylan, Courtney, and Parker decided to start our own race car business called Champion Race Cars, and you know, we've raced against each other in the past. We don't race in the same classes now, but you know, we all work on each other's stuff, and you know, we all want to see each one of us win. You know, uh, we bought some flat carts and built a go-kart track in the backyard. Believe it or not, we're more competitive there than we are on the racetrack.
That's awesome, dude. I love that.
Wait till you start playing with riding lawnmowers, doing that on the go-kart track. That's even more fun. Because not everybody has the big riding lawnmower racing machines. But talk about, so does that change your program at all? I mean, does that give you any more ideas, or you let the car building stuff, you know, with your own car, you let grandpa mess with that, or you know, what does that do for your program?
You know, of course, we all have our hands in it. Pawpaw does most of the, you know, my car stays at his house. And I'm not able to go there every day. So he does most of the tinkering with it. I can't really say the only car we've built for personal is Parker's new one. You know, that's the first one we've been able to build from the ground up. But like I said, it's a combination of all of us. You know, all of us kind of put our heads together and we can come up with some really good ideas sometimes and some really bad ones.
I think that I mean, I immediately fell in love with your class, the pure stocks and the sportsman. Mr. Mason, kind of talk about that. I think that those are two classes where folks come out to the racetrack, and you know, for the folks that talk about how much the race cars don't look real anymore and they don't sound real anymore, and the cars hitting the chip and all these different things, they go out there and see you guys in these real race cars, man. These are just the baddest ass race cars on the track, man.
Yeah, I mean, it's a 1984, 85 Monte
Nice.
Carlo, you know, whatever it is. That's still stock roof, stock firewall, quarters, doors, fenders. It's got plastic nose and tailpiece on it, but I mean, it's got the stock trunk lid and everything still in
It's
it, you
great,
know.
man.
I put a roll cage in it, and matter of fact, I'm still running the stock front springs.
Damn. Okay, you know people are going to
You know,
argue with you about that. You just said that, and people are, no, he's lying. You know how that goes, right?
No, they're stock. They ever want to pull them out, they better stand back because they're shooting out of there.
So, which track you like better, dude? You like Mobile better without the wall, or you like Pensacola better because of the speed? Which one you like better?
Uh, Actually, as far as just running in the circles, I like Mobile better. Just because of how much faster you're in and off into the corner, it gives you a different feel. But at Pensacola, uh, as far as racing goes, I like Pensacola better. Just it's different having to race somebody with a wall
Yeah.
around you. You know.
Mm-hmm.
You know. Like I said, both of them are really fun tracks. It's really hard to pick. Uh, it's always been something about Pensacola that I've liked racing, where you got to handle a little better at Pensacola than you do at
Yeah.
Mobile.
Yep, absolutely. Yeah, yeah, because that concrete wall will stop you really really fast. Um, Mason, you mentioned Mr. Mitch. Kind of talk about him. I think that's a guy I know a lot. When we Texans started going up that way, that was a guy that helped a lot of the Texans, and was with Max Calles, one of our guys. They kind of did some stuff together and so forth. I think that just with the band of the team, the organization that I talk about with you guys up that way. Mr. Mitch is one of those guys that I think is real pivotal in everything that you guys have built everything to at this point.
Yes, sir. Like I said, Mr. Mitch is a great guy. He actually used to own one or two of Pawpaw's race
Mhm.
cars. Pawpaw used to drive for him. And he's always been around, my family and willing to help no matter what. He came on board with me my first year whenever I wasn't any good. He wanted to help me out. Mr. Mitch is a great man. His boy Dustin too.
Mhm.
Dustin do anything in the world for us too.
Mhm.
You know, like I said, all everybody that helps me in this car is like family. It's not one of them go to businesses ask them for money. It's not necessarily always about money. If I need something and Mr. Mitch has got it, he'd be sure to give it to me.
Absolutely.
Well, I think Mason, I think that makes it more special in a certain extent, right? I mean, it's one thing to be pounding the pavement, going from business to business, or putting on Facebook that you need money and sponsors to do this and this. But yet, when you got I mean, you can always use more. Don't get me wrong. Every racer can use more money. But it seems like that when it's your own little ecosystem that's working, I think that's always been more fun to me is when you have your own little ecosystem of everybody just, nickels and dimes and quarters and helping you out and making it work just makes it feel better to me. That's the way it always was for me.
Yeah, so the way I look at it is, and my grandpa's taught me this since I was a little kid, and it's just how I feel. But you go asking for people like that, it's like you're begging for money.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And if you can't afford to do it, you don't need to do it. So that's how we've always done it. And like I said, I've been blessed and had people that wanted to help me. Uh, but we don't go and ask around for money.
Yeah. Isn't that one of those things where I think people are always afraid that they're trying to be sold? And it's like that they see you walking up and they're like a stand they don't want to be sold. Here's a quick question. Last one for me, Mr. Mason from looks like CK on one of the Facebook chats asking, being a younger motorsports person like you are, do you feel that some of it says big time racers, I would say for us, let's talk about the super late model guys, just for example, maybe the modified guys. Do you think that they need to do more to be more in touch with bringing new generations of race fans? I happen to think that it's guys like you that will bring people in within your area. But your thought on that with some of the super late model guys, do you think that they could be more proactive to bring people to Mobile or Pensacola or South Alabama, wherever it may be?
Now, I'm gonna be honest with you, Mr. Rodney, and this is kind of a hard
Mhm.
question, but a lot of those supers, not all of them, but a lot of them are rent rides
Mhm.
now. You know what I mean? They show up, get in the car, drive, get out, and go
Yep.
home. Uh, yeah, you don't have people like us that, we get done racing in the car sitting outside the trailer. We're just hanging out. People come up. The little kids love that coming in the. I think that's the biggest thing that, you know, why I have a fan base is because my grandpa's done
Yep.
it too. For so long after the race, we're hanging out with the cars out. Kids come down wanting to take pictures, with the car, let them sit in the cars, give them the trophy. Uh, to me, it's that kind of stuff. And I understand super late model racing. That cost a lot more money than what it cost us. But, a lot of it is just they want to feel like you're a person too. You
Mhm.
know what I mean? Not that you're better than us because you've got that much more
That's right.
money.
That's right. Well said.
But you know, and I don't know, and I guess that's just how Pawpaw raised me. But you know, that's how we've always been. I love it. I think I've kept 3 trophies this year. The rest of them I've given away, just because that's what you want. You want those kids to come back, because without the next generation, we don't have a racetrack anymore when we're gone.
That's right. I think Pawpaw has taught you well. I think he's taught you more than what you think, in terms of how, and I think that's the biggest thing, is that there is a generational shift, like you mentioned, with in terms of like the renter rides and some of the stuff like that. It's the people that still get their knuckles beat up and get their hands dirty that are the ones that hold the glue that holds this place together, holds this sport together. And I think that it's good that you've got a good mentor like that to remind you of what it was in the old days and how it was in the old days. And sometimes even with new technology, some of them old ways still work.
Yeah, especially on these lower class cars that are, still running just like they did run in the old school.
Mhm.
It helps a lot. But a lot of it is, I like my grandpa said, well, like I say, he's probably forgotten more than I'll ever get to learn.
Yeah. Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah.
as long as he's been around and been doing it, he knows a bunch.
Yep.
And and I kind of try to soak it in.
Yep.
Every chance I get, I love being in the shop with him.
Yep.
Whether we're working on cars, and we're just like everybody. Me and him argue a bunch. We butt heads a lot. But at the end of the day, I always know that he's only trying to teach me.
That's right. Just
Well,
trying
he's
to make
got
you better.
social media figured out for an older guy. I mean, I saw something pop up. I think he's listening right now. So he figured that much out on how to listen to you on our show. So that's good news.
There you go. There you go.
Yeah, he is. I sent it to him earlier.
Nice. Nice. Well done. You said, turn this shit on. You got to listen to this. Well done. Well done. Mason, man, it's been fun to watch this season and watch what you're doing. You can go defend that Derby title come in December. And, man, just keep on doing it. So any thoughts? I'll ask you last. Next year, you guys in the car building business now. So looking to stay the course of what you're doing. Maybe going to try some other divisions, maybe trucks. Because I know there may be some trucks laying around. What's next for you?
Mr. Rodney, I don't really know yet. I'd love an opportunity. It's not in the cards for me to afford it to do it myself. But as of right now, we're going to continue to work on cars, and I'm going to be around it, and I'll be in something, just not sure what it is
There
yet. I've had one offer, and I don't know yet. You know what I mean? Everything's just got to, if it works out, it works out. If it don't, it don't. You know what I mean? It wasn't meant to be.
You've got one hell of a hot rod right now, so you can always fall back on that. So no problem right there. All right, my man. Looking forward to the end of the year. Congratulations on that championship. Damn, that belt looks good, man. Hope I get to come see you guys, hug your neck, and watch you guys.
Say we might even come see you at the Derby.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Let me see.
Well, we'll be there, and we've got one more race at Pensacola before then, the Night of Champions there on the 20th of September. If y'all want to come out, like I said, don't mind stopping by the trailer.
Absolutely.
I like to talk anyway.
Yes, sir. We'll take you up on it, man. We will take you up on it. Congratulations, dude. Hope to talk to you soon.
Yes, sir. Thank you. I appreciate
Take
y'all.
care. There he goes, Mason Johnson. I tell you, man, that well-spoken young race car driver right there.
Yeah, he's got that. He got, the good news is that we didn't need a translator for him. Like when you used to watch like some of those shows based in the South, they had to have the closed captioning to tell you what they were saying. He didn't have enough. He didn't have as much twang where we didn't have to have the CC operator sit there and translate what he was saying. So that's a good thing. Every once in a while we get them Southern boys on here, and it's like even I got a hard time going, wait, what did he just say?
I've got to tell you one of the coolest things that I learned in my time down there, and then just having that conversation there with him. Everyone is Mr. or Mrs. And I think I've actually gotten to where like I even call like for example my Chloe, my kid. It's like her roommate. I call her Mrs. Jackie, and it's like
That's a Southern thing, though.
You know what? The Southern thing needs to go a little viral, because now with everybody being in such a bad mood all the time and having bad manners, and we're reading over here, pulling up drama queen, and everybody pissed off at each other. It's like, man, we need a little bit of that Southern hospitality to make its way back, man, because that's missing really bad.
Surprisingly, I had a lot of Southern hospitality when I was in NASCAR land up around Charlotte. All the people in the race teams were super nice.
Yeah,
they really were. Except at JRM, I was kind of surprised at them, but but everybody else, like the people at Gibbs, were super nice. Hell, they're the ones that gave us the roadmap to look at all the other race shops. By the way, if you're going to be at Hendrick's will be closed for remodel at the museum and the gift shop for a week, starting on the 21st to the 28th.
Gotta go in there, and
that means they're probably, they said rebuild remodel. I mean, that's something probably going to be moving in some new cars, taking out some cars, stuff like that. So
I think this was meant for Mason, but I think you and I can field this question. Do you feel something should be done to outlaw rides for hire? That's not going to happen.
It's never. It's because it's money. It's always been about money.
Yeah, that's how race teams operate. Do you feel that you need to run what you brung? Run what you brung. I mean, I would do that in maybe a very in a sport compact or something like that. But still within the rations of like there in Houston, where you can do the race tire if you want, or whatever, within reason. Because when you start doing that kind of stuff, run what you brung, I mean, to me, you're just stinking up the show, because what you're going to have is you're going to have somebody that's going to come out and dominate. Although we see that anyway. I mean, me personally, in a lot of these divisions, stock divisions have basically become run what you brung, because like we're talking about, people aren't dropping oil pans. People aren't whatever, the tech is very minimal. And again, I get that whole thing about, I get that question a lot to where it comes to short track racing, to where it's like, so when you talk about tech, so why aren't they teching the cars before the races? I'm like, that they do. Before you go on the track, they check your safety shit, and that's it. Because with short track racing, it's so easy to change stuff. You know what I mean? It's like you can get in there and change stuff a lot quicker than you can with some of the, because you're not the mega $1 million entity that NASCAR is.
Well, I mean, hell, NASCAR, they don't find stuff in post race either, or pre-race either. So, I just think that it's just becoming a way that it's just the money deal is always going to be there. If you do a real deal, run what you brung, run what you brung race is like an enduro race, like the SuperTech 600, the Lone Star 600.
Yep.
That's a true run what you brung class. That's a true run, but there's not a place for that in a weekly show.
Mm-mm.
In my mind.
Yeah, I totally agree. I mean, if you want to run what you brung, that's where, if you have that kind of money, that's where you need to be in those upper echelon type of whatever, on dirt, being a modified, or, with a late model, on asphalt, being a pro late model or a super late model, something like modified, with
they ain't cheap.
Yeah, no, I mean, if you've got that much money, and that's where I think that question comes up a lot, to where people want to be in the run what you brung class, and they want something run what you brung, but they want it to be like the beginner division. It's like, come on, man. I mean, let those people learn how to race and let them enjoy it. I mean, I've always said, like, when you have the beginner class or the entry level, I hate to say beginner because there's not a lot of beginners anymore, but when you have those divisions, whether it's a crown stock division or the 4-cylinder, whatever it may be, and you get out there and you go out to race and you look and you're racing against Jeff Gordon in the same division, it's like, well, I sure as hell know I'm not going to win tonight. And maybe you're not going to win, but when you see those folks doing it, it's like, that kind of takes the fun out of it to me.
No, but the crown stocks are like that. It's the same way. Somebody sees something fun and they want to do it. The guys will, with the more experience and the higher echelon classes, will jump down and race a Crown Vic. We saw it all over the Southeast when Crown Vics were getting hot and heavy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. And that is the nice thing. I mean, you were totally on par when you say that if you're going to do a race like that, you definitely need to have it to where it's a 300 lap race, the 600, 300 lap races or whatever the case is, to where it's not going to be that somebody's just going to get out there and jump out in a 40 lap race, run what you brung, and the shit don't break down. Yeah. I totally like, and that's essentially what that damn 600 is. I mean, they don't care what you bring. I mean, that's what I was amazed when I went that one time at Devil's Bowl, where it's like you had all these badass modifieds and damn station wagons. I mean, you had everything. Yeah. And you'd see these guys take off and they're hauling ass for about 75 laps. And then it's like, where'd they go? They broke down. They went to the pits. So I don't know. I think that's the only way to do it. Take a quick break. When we come back, let's jump into the NASCAR stuff. We've got some NASCAR news here at the top of the hour that we need to break down, get into all that stuff. Great conversation there with Mason Johnston. Of course, Bobby and I both talk about on-demand shirts, the official apparel provider of the Revved Up Sports Show, and both of us. How about a word from our great friends at ODS?
You've probably seen us all over the racing world and doing a lot of racing designs for events and race teams, but we also do a lot of stuff from small boutiques in small cities all the way up to Fortune 500 companies. Your brand deserves to be seen. We print on more than just shirts, hats, jackets, bags, and much, much more. Custom corporate branding starts here.
Absolutely. There they are. It is on-demand shirts. Be sure and check them out. They will take care of you, just like James Cole said right there. If it's you're a small race team looking to get your gear together, or if you're one of these big conglomerates that needs stuff. Also, if you have events, I mean, whatever, golf tournaments, they will take care of you. It is on-demand shirts. Be sure and check them out and tell them you heard about them right here on the Revved Up Sports Show. So let's go over to the NASCAR side, Bobby. The big news, and again, I'm not going to talk a lot about it, but you have with the I love how they call it the second tier series, but the Xfinity series, the Busch series, whatever you want to call it, the big announcement yesterday morning, it will now become the O'Reilly Auto Parts series. So big move right there. I have to tell you, just as a total outsider looking in on this, what I like is that it's kind of more branded with a more down home, I think, company with an auto parts company. I think that's something that it's going to really give that series a little bit of a push, of a more of a down home type of thing.
Well, I think it's a nationwide appeal thing. Xfinity is good, and Xfinity has a lot of broadband customers, and they got a lot of internet places around the country. But it doesn't matter where you go, you can find an O'Reilly Auto Parts generally in your hometown, whether it's a huge city or a small town like Edna, Texas. So I think being able to be able to market, we try to put, as racers and tracks have always tried to put flyers inside an auto parts store.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's only a natural fit for an auto parts supplier to go and be a major sponsor in NASCAR. I mean, it's not like they just all of a sudden appeared like Nationwide did, and all of a sudden appeared like Xfinity did. I mean, they've been around forever. They sponsored races at Texas Motor Speedway. They don't really sponsor any individual drivers, but they were PRN. They were the O'Reilly Auto Parts pit reporters for as long as I can remember. And so it's not like O'Reilly's is just bust on the scene here and decided to be, a new major player in NASCAR. I'm sure they thought about this for a while. It hadn't been a secret that the Xfinity series was going to leave. So they've been courting NASCAR's been courting a couple of sponsors for a while. I think it just became the natural fit to put the O'Reillys in there. I just wonder what it's going to do for the Advanced Auto Parts Weekly series now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's going to be a really good question right there to see how that all shakes itself out, because that's you've got two big brands right there, and I am curious to see. I mean, does this begin an influx of maybe others? That would be a part of this. There's a couple of other big box brands. I mean, you've got one that rides on the 9 car all the time, so you know that they're spending a lot of money right there with those guys. But there are some others. I don't know what that does with that, but I think even more powerful with this, because it really seems like the connection here with O'Reilly. It seems like this is a very strategic move that they are making, possible with the CW. And I think the CW has really branded itself. As a matter of fact, I saw something today where so I don't know if you saw this morning. So Nexstar, which is the CW and so forth, they're acquiring a bunch of Tegna stations.
Yep.
Which, like,
and
for
Claire
example,
tried to buy them and they said no. They went after Tegna instead.
Right. So like in Austin, for example, you're going to have KXAN 36.
KXA and KView. They're going to combine the new rooms, and a lot of people are going to be out of jobs.
Right. And then I think San Antonio is going to be, who is it? Kins and KSAT. I mean, I'm not sure who that is. But
No, it's going to be Kins and Fox 29.
Fox 29.
That
So
already shares the newsroom with WOAI.
Yeah. And I can tell you that when the CW, when all of this began to come down, I think it was last year, right about this time, maybe a little earlier in the year, I was down at TMS with David Starr, and I met with some of the Next Star people, and they're like, we're really going to push this to make the Xfinity, the Xfinity series now, to make it something really big, and I think this is a huge move to where I think this thing is collaborating in the now O'Reilly Auto Parts series, or soon to be O'Reilly Auto Parts series. It's going to be its own standalone thing, and you got to think about it. I personally think that it's a better race car. I think that showcasing these personalities of these guys and ladies, I mean, I think that it's really establishing itself as a really cool entity.
Well, if you looked online today, people were saying it's a better series because the numbers are in the right spot. Although it is kind of weird when you go back and watch the old races on Tubi. That Gen 6 car did look pretty damn good.
Dude, it did. It
really did. It better than a car tomorrow.
Yeah.
But that Gen 6 car looked much better and performed a hell of a lot better than this Gen 7 car. But that's a whole other thing. Other NASCAR news, apparently they have people in line ready to buy the 2311 charters, and actually the two 2311 charters, the 2 front row charters, and the 3 Stewart-Haas charters. So they've got quite a few. Or I guess 2 of the 3 Stewart-Haas charters. So they've got people lined up to buy them and get in. I think that they're going to have to add in 2 new. I think they're going to have to add in 2 new charters, 2 to 3 charters when Stellantis comes back in with Dodge.
Mm-hmm.
I think that, just having Colleague Racing as the Dodge team won't be enough, and left for some reason. Have you seen the smoke about RCR going to Dodge? I can't see it.
I find that hard to believe.
But the Colleague deal makes a little sense, except for the fact you don't have an engine builder.
Yeah. That would, I don't know, man. That would be, hey, I never in my wildest imagination thought that Tony Stewart would drive a Toyota. So I mean, you never know.
For one season he did.
Yeah. So it's going to be all about, and this is like with
Jimmy
RCR.
Johnson's in the Toyota. That's
well, yeah, that's the whole thing with that. I mean, at this point, because you have to figure out with these things. I mean, you've got the teams that are on the outside looking in, and it's going to be more with the Chevrolets, as Jeff Gordon says, because it's like you've got Hendrick, and then like with RCR. And I mean, I said this the other night to me, that clinic that Austin Dillon put on, I think Bubba Wallace was the only guy that had anything for him, but then they stepped on themselves in the pits. But I have to tell you that with Hendrick, RCR, I think they put all their eggs in this one race. I mean, you want to talk about working the system. This dude, I mean, he has that. They've been getting better. I mean, RCR's been getting better. But what I saw the other night, that was a clinic, and an
ass whooping, wasn't it,
dude? It's like it's very hard for me to say that Ace put on a clinic, but he did, and I think that's what they did right there. But this is where I think the Dodge thing is so fascinating, because you're looking around, and I think with Legacy is another one, because they're on the outside looking in at Toyota with JGR and 2311. This charter thing, I'd be really good. When NASCAR says they have people lined up waiting, who's waiting? Who's waiting? Who's going to buy those? I
mean, IndyCar guys, potentially private equity firms. I mean, you never know.
I don't know, man. I think that now we're getting
Honda and Dodge.
Yeah. I mean, that's
probably who's lined up to do it is Honda and Dodge.
That's my thought. I mean, I really think that once Dodge gets in with the trucks, I mean, I think it's not long before Honda makes the move. I mean, but Honda, how does Honda jump in? They ain't got no truck, do they? I mean, I don't know.
Not one that fits that template.
So I mean, maybe they go to the O'Reilly series. I mean, I don't know what they're going to do. Hey, looky there, Okie Mason checking in. Boy, you got it right.
We need to have Okie on. Hell,
that dude knows how to work the technology right there. We have Okie Mason on here. We're going to have some moonshine, and it's going to be about a 4-hour show right there telling stories. So thank you, Mr. Okie, for checking in right there. But this is really, there's a lot that's about to happen, and we saw the proposed schedule. I'm assuming that's the schedule if it came out. So
if Bianchi's got it, it's he's not often very wrong. Him and Adam Stern are pretty much on top of it. So
yeah. And I don't see anything. I don't have the graphic to pull up, but I mean, there's not anything. I mean, the additions, you've got the San Diego road course, street course that would come in. You've got Chicagoland coming in. COTA here would be the third race. I think Texas would be May 6th. So it kind of slots in there right along the same lines. Of course, the finale is going to move to Homestead, but the
All-Star race at Dover.
All-Star race at Dover, man. That is, that's pretty shitty. I mean, that's moving Dover out the door, if you ask me, man. It's kind of the kiss of death right there for Dover, which is a damn shame.
You wouldn't think with its proximity to DC and Pennsylvania and New York and as many faraway states as Dover can get to. I think it's weird that there's a chance that Dover won't be on the schedule.
Yeah, and I think the other part of it is with kind of looking at Dover with the rich history that it has, and I mean, does Dover become like a badass short track? I mean, is that what happens?
I thought New Hampshire would be on the chopping block for a while, but it looks like they go put Dover out there first.
Man, and that's a shame. I mean, because that's one of the staples right there, and I just don't think that. I think the outcry is going to be, well, I mean, I think it already is where folks are like, the Dover fans are like, are you kidding me? That's what we're going to have. I mean, I like a lot of we saw it this past weekend at Richmond with the one race a year. I mean, the fans were turning out.
Sold out, man. Yeah. Couldn't say that the last 5 years at Richmond.
Yeah.
You could say it on Saturday night.
And yet I still saw people finding pictures of it. It's like, how's it sold out? It's like, okay, you took this picture at 3:00 in the afternoon of the stands over there with nobody in them. Come on, man.
Looked pretty damn full in the highlights I saw.
The place was juiced. And
plus all those people walk around nonstop around the track too. So
I know. Plus, I mean, the racing was good. I mean, the 3-car one. I mean, he punches.
The truck race was good too.
Absolutely. I mean, that was a damn good race.
We got a pretty good idea who's going to drive it in 2026 too.
Yeah. We hadn't gotten to talk about that. Our man Caden Honeycutt, that was kind of the in between there on the week that we missed. Makes the change. He's going over to help out Stuart Friesen. Well, okay,
and he's already got the those are the only 2 Toyotas that made the playoffs.
Caden's really promoting that Toyota brand, isn't he?
Yeah.
Doing a really good job right there.
He'll be singing a jingle about windshields here before too long.
That's the kind of fill-in guy that you want right there. And I got to tell you, I mean, if you want a feel-good story, I mean, how great would that be? If it's going to be a stretch, but let's say that Caden Honeycutt can get in here and make a really good run at that Craftsman Truck Series Championship. Kind of coming in to help out Stuart Friesen. I mean, that would be a really cool, really feel good story, I think, in my opinion.
Yeah, it could be a hell of a story.
Yeah, absolutely. So here we go. Let's take a look as we go to Daytona. And this is where coming up on Saturday night, another Saturday night race. Although I did see the TV numbers. Did you see the TV numbers came out today? Not very good for Saturday night racing.
No, I don't think. Well, and that's before football got here.
I know. That's pretty messed up.
Daytona's on USA too, isn't it? Or is it on NBC?
Yeah, that's let's see here. No, it's on NBC. That is on the big NBC. It looks like. Yeah, watch on NBC. Of course, you'll have FS1. Oh no,
and I'll be at a racetrack, but
where am I going to be? I'm going to be in Fort Worth, but I think I should be back at my hotel in time to watch most of this. So taking a look at the Austin Dillon punches his ticket in right there. Josh Berry right above him. Austin Cindric. Those guys are locked in with wins. You've got 15th Tyler Reddick at plus 89. You want to talk about not blowing, but you want to talk about a triple-digit thing going away. That's a dude that I thought just a few weeks ago was rock solid to get in the playoffs. Right below him, you got Alex Bowman. at plus 60, and then Chris Buescher at minus 60 right below him. So if you get somebody that comes in here and steals a win, it's going to mess this whole picture up. Otherwise, you get Reddick and Bowman in. Personally, I hope that Reddick and Bowman get in because I think that they're going to be more formidable challengers, I think, in this playoff.
I think it's going to be an interesting take to see. I've been watching my guy, the road course king. As we said, that was something we didn't get to discuss last week about how people are still saying he's, a road course only guy. But, think about how many guys that we have seen over the years that said they'd give a left testicle to win a cup race, much less 5 in 38 starts.
Well, I can tell you that the road course guy looked pretty damn good on the oval the other night. I can tell you that. And of all places at Richmond, I mean, that's a slicked up racetrack, and that last green flag segment ran forever. I mean, I know he was a lap down, but he was the first car lap down and sitting there fighting. Bowman's all pissed off at him for not getting out of the way. But I'm here to tell you one thing, that guy gets the ovals figured out, and especially figuring out a place like that. What are the first 3 races coming out? You got Darlington. What are the first 3 races in the
Darlington,
playoff?
St. Louis, and Bristol.
I think my probability of him advancing to the second round is a lot better than I thought it was, because I'm seeing some damn really good continual
He's got
improvement
like
right
25 bonus points though, so he's got a little cushion built in.
Yeah.
He's got he's tied for most wins with Denny Hamlin at 4.
Yeah.
He doesn't have a lot of stage points, doesn't have a lot of stage wins, but he's got those bonus points from winning all those races. So he'll be, I think he ends up getting seated when they reset the points. I think he's going to end up reseating 6th out of 16.
I mean, that's not bad. And the whole thing is, you just got to get through that first stretch.
If he can get through the Roval, he's going to smoke their ass.
Absolutely. I mean, you look at this lineup right now. Austin Dillon, I know a lot of folks are high on RCR, but I don't think he gets out. I don't think Josh Berry gets out. I'm kind of on the fence about Austin Cindric. That's 3 of them. I mean, I don't know. You know what's going to happen at Darlington. You're going to get somebody that gets tore up, and they're going to have one hell of a hill to climb. But depending who wins on Saturday, I mean, you get one of these guys that sneaks in and wins. I mean, you get a John Hunter Nemechek gets out there and wins. I mean, Michael McDowell. I mean, one of these guys. I'm glad that the regular season, or the last race before the playoffs. I know the regular season thing is clinched a race before. I'm glad it's at Daytona, because it is going to cause a little drama, but I'm ready for the Sunday morning quarterback. If one of these people gets in that, is not in the top 20, 30, get ready for that.
I'm just disappointed they have Chicagoland on July 5th for the proposed schedule for 2026.
Yeah. That,
I still would have done San Diego July 4th weekend. That's when I would have done it.
I think, here's Chicago's chance for the fans to show out. Get out there. You wanted Chicagoland back, so do it there. Hell, I'd take TMS. Do it at TMS. No, can you imagine being there? Whew, talk about heat. Talk about heat at the concrete.
You'd have to run it on the Saturday night. But that'd be right on July 4th. Like, you can't.
Yeah. Saturday night show. But I think that we are very much in that whole kind of back to the Richmond conversation, to where it's going to be, these tracks are going to be one race, other than Daytona, Talladega, I guess Atlanta.
Atlanta, with their new configuration, they're going to have 2.
Yeah.
Darlington's actually, when they went back and did all those extra races at Darlington during the pandemic, they realized how good the racing was at Darlington. So it's going to take a lot to get Darlington. You'll have the Southern 500 echoed. They're never moving that race again.
Yeah.
They ain't dumb enough to move that race twice. That'll stay there for a while.
Yeah.
I say not dumb enough. I mean, they're running the Xfinity cars in Portland, so on Labor Day weekend. So,
and I think that even though as much as we look at how the racing has kind of gone by the wayside at Bristol, they're going to have 2 races. I mean,
I almost thought Bristol was going to get dropped so that Wilkesboro could have a points race.
Well, here's Wilkesboro's chance. And I think that's great. I mean, I think the All-Star race and all that was great, but what's a 400 lap race going to look like? That's
now that the pavement's all new, I don't think it'll be a problem.
Yeah. We'll see. We'll proposed schedule here once we're done to kind of give you an idea what we're talking about. But it's easy to find on the X. I don't know.
Do you see that last round? The last round of the playoffs, it goes Darlington, St. Louis, and Bristol first round, fairly normal. Kansas, they flip-flop Kansas and Vegas. Vegas is usually the first race in the round, but they have Kansas as the first race in the second round with Vegas, and then the Roval. The last 3 races before the Homestead finale: Phoenix, Talladega, and Martinsville.
Woo! Damn. Talladega and Martinsville. Man.
Back to back in the final round like that. Wow. Well, you're not the final round, but the third round.
Yeah. Well, you
Your
have
eliminator round. That's whoo boy.
Yeah. You have to, you have to shake this thing up a little bit just to add some of that drama. And I think the whole thing is for the folks that are hoping that the playoff is going to go away or whatever. It's not. I mean, look at that schedule right there that Bobby just read off. Playoffs ain't going away. If they were, we'd have an idea by now. And I have not heard anything about any changes to the playoff.
Yeah, it says round 3 elimination race in Martinsville. So
boom, there you go. That's what it's all about.
2 off weekends though. One on Mother's Day, or no, one on Easter, and one in August the 2nd, right after the Brickyard race.
Nice, and no Mexico yet. And
IndyCar's going there instead.
Well, I did hear Daniel Suarez had a really good point talking about that with that whole World Cup thing. Because trust me, this year for work, I was really in the middle of Gold Cup, and if any of that's going on, if soccer's going on when it comes to any of those cups, if any of that's going on, you are not going to compete with those because they are going to. I don't care if you like soccer or not, they are going to totally encompass Monterey. As it would be this year, but maybe it happens. Hey, I'm just glad they're coming back to Dakota. I'm glad they're coming back to Texas because that's 2 Texas stops for we folks down south.
Yeah. Dakota, right in the backyard, 20 miles away.
Boom, close. Sleep on my own bed. Friends, coming up this weekend, you've got, of course, the Oxford 250. The Oxford 250 is coming up. You can catch that, and that will be. They were on track today. I think there was practice today, so they're going to get after it. That's a huge one, and we'll try to keep you folks updated on the socials about what's going on. Of course, you can readily find that and check that out, as well as the Speed 125, the Pro Late models there at Montgomery Motor Speedway tomorrow night. On Track TV, you've got the from Owasso, the Michigan 300, and that'll be a damn good one as well. So plenty of short track racing and dirt track racing everywhere. Dirt track racing everywhere on every streamer that you can think of. More drama to come.
Yeah.
That we can break down next Tuesday. And next Tuesday, we'll pull this up again and say, let's see what we missed in the world of short track racing.
From Dairy Queens to drama queens, DQs to drama queens. It's always there.
The Texas Stop Sign, the Drama Queens, the Days of Our Short Track Lives, a brand new bit that we will do every Tuesday right here on the Revved Up Show. All right, my man. So you are you're on the road. So what's going on around here? I sent you in that email earlier. I think I know who's racing, but then again, I don't.
Let's see here. Our boys at the STEM Series are racing at the Race Ranch on Friday night.
Oh, Friday, and then they are racing the back-to-back at Corpus on Friday night, and I-37 will finally be fixed. Their wall will be open back up, so they'll be ready to go. And then Texana's racing on Saturday, so I'll be back down in Edna. Cotton Bowl just raced, so they're off. Locally, it's going to be big race weekend in South Texas with Edna, I-37, and Corpus all racing. So, speaking of Cotton Bowl, Living Legend race there at 105 for Howard Willis again. So nice. Now, speaking of Cotton Bowl, you folks lay off of the whole dirt thing about the whole dusty thing. Looking for the dry slick. You want to race dry slick? Go to Houston. Go to HMP. It's as dry slick as you want, and there will be no dust unless it's
kitty
tire
litter.
smoke.
Kitty litter.
Kitty litter. Yeah.
Only Dust gets the kitty litter.
Yeah. There you go. I mean, lay off of those people. I mean, I think as far as I know, I think it rained at Cotton Bowl that day. I mean, sheesh. Anyway, all right. Great program. A huge thanks to our man, Mason Johnston, for checking in and being a part of this. We'll do it again next Tuesday evening, where we'll rehash and complain about all the other drama, break down, set you the NASCAR playoffs. They will be officially set there. Give you a recap of the Owasso race, get you a recap of the Oxford 250, and no telling what else, maybe some more live guests. And music to my ears when you said you talked to a Texas legend.
I did. Got to talk to more than one legend at Greg Davidson's service, which was quite wonderful. We've always talked about wanting to do an old TIDA reunion and a Romco super late model reunion. It's pretty damn close to it there at Greg's service there on Saturday. But coming up soon, we don't know exactly when, got to work out the logistics. We will have another edition of the Texas Legend series with our man, one of the most, as I explained to him, and he was shocked, one of our most requested guests for the Texas Legend series, Mr. Jay Watson out of Midland, Texas, will be joining the show here in the next couple of weeks.
Car number 48 in the Oldsmobile out of Midland. It is Jay Watson, in the words of the great Russ Martin. And the great Russ, we need to get him on here. He's still with us, isn't he?
I think so.
Get him on here. That'd be some good stories. God, I hope he's still with us after I just dropped his name. But anyway, all right, guys, we're going to do it again next Tuesday. Follow us on the socials. Give some love to on-demand shirts. Be sure and check out audiovisual consultations, avconsultations.com. If you're looking for that home speedway system, if you're in the Texas area, they will get you fixed up for football season and the NASCAR playoffs and Racing American, Flow, and Race On, and all these different places where you can consume all this stuff. Be sure and check out our man Tom McKay with all of that. All right. Till next Tuesday. Showtime Bobby Chaffee down south. I am Rodney Rodriguez. We will see you next week for another great #Real Race Talk. Be well, friends.